What's going on everyone, Ollelito back here with a brand new video on the channel. Sorry guys for previous week, I know I was off for like a week, but that was basically my kind of time for relaxation, whatever you want to call it, into the next year's game, because now we're going to start slowly build up. But as you guys know, I was in Saudi Arabia and there I played the Esports World Cup tournament, basically tried to qualify for the main tournament. Unfortunately I didn't do that. If you haven't seen the vlog going up here, please watch that vlog because I thought I did pretty well, even though I need a new vlog camera. But today I will be showcasing you guys the best 4-3-2-1 tactics in EFC 24 by Afonso, who is here. We play him in MLS. He managed to win the Esports World Cup, the last tournament of the year, winning $300,000. And of course, he was playing in the 4-3-2-1 formation. So in this video, I'm going to showcase his tactics and instructions and why it worked out so good for him in the last tournament of the season, basically. So yeah, let's just jump into today's video. And before we do that, Afonso's Instagram is down below. So if you want to give him a follow, previously world champion. So yeah, let's just jump into the video. So, first of all, we start off with being on the game. And I mean, I haven't been on this game for I don't know how long now. I haven't touched the game since I played in Saudi. But this is our team, what I used before the main tournament. And it was kind of similar to, you know, a lot of other squads that people were using. A lot of people were using Stones, of course. Obviously, people were using the 99 Van Dijk and Konate here. Jude Bellingham, a few people actually used him as a wingback. Some people used Havertz and some people used Joselo, of course. Center midfielders, De Bruyne was one of the most used players in all squads, and also Vitinha. So two of these, and also Hullet adding onto that. Strikers, Mbappe's best card, of course, Haaland's best card. Then it was Team of the Year, Grace of the Game icon, whatever you call him, R9. And then a lot of players actually played Saka or Putellas. So yeah, this was the team that I played with, but this is the tactics that Afonso used to become world champion. I was figuring out, before we jump into the tactics, this was the team that Afonso used to become world champion, so you understand what kind of players he used. Going up here, you see it. Now we jump into the tactics. Yes, guys, so he was using a 4-3-2-1 formation. In the midfield, he was using Hullet, Vitinha, and Putellas. And Putellas was the offensive midfielder. In this case, I was using actually De Bruyne in the middle because of his long ball pass. Also Saka as the offensive midfielder, and then Loftus-Cheek. Then Maguire was actually not playing as a right back because that was actually Bellingham, and Daniel Stones as a left back. Then Eto'o, Haaland, and Kylian Mbappe up front. So Afonso 4-3-2-1, going on with the tactics. In terms of width, he was using 40. He wanted the team to be very compact, and of course this is a great way to actually get your team very compact, because I will try to explain it for you guys. Depth, of course, 100 depth. I mean, I previously explained it in a few other tactics videos where I showcased some really good tactics, and he was using 100 depth and 40 width. And this is basically because if you use above 70 depth in this year's game, you get this kind of auto offside traps, which pushes your team up, but also makes your team more compact. So you've seen a few players doing like 15, 20. I think Johnny was one of the players who did that when he won the Champions League, but Afonso decided to go with a bit more width, so he's not really too compact. He can still defend the wings and is still able to, you know, be a bit more open in terms of the opponent not being able to play through him, but also not being able to play on the wings. He tries to be a bit more balanced than, of course, Johnny, for example, who was using 15 to 10 width. For the offensive third and for the build-up play, he was using balanced. I think this is something that we all use in this year's game. Obviously, it's pretty late into the cycle now. Chance creation, you can either do forward runs or direct passing. He was using direct passing, and then width, he was actually using very basic width, and that was 50. I think this has also been a common thing this year with the game, where there is a lot of people and a lot of pro players in general that doing the chance creation pretty basic from 40 to 50. Doesn't really matter too much. But Afonso, when he won the World Cup, was using 50. Placing box, he was using 5. Corners he had on 3, and free kicks he had on 1, because free kicks you normally don't score in this game, but we know how good corners are. So this is basically the tactics, and now jumping into the most important thing, the player instructions. Starting off back from the keeper, he was actually using cones for crosses in terms of instructions, basically because I think he wanted the keeper to actually challenge for more crosses, because if you were watching the Esports World Cup, there were a lot of goals scored by corners, of course, in this year's game, and that was basically why he wanted to stop the corners. So Courtois comes for crosses, or whichever keeper you want to play with should have comes for crosses. The right back he was actually using as the balanced fullback, and in this case he was using balanced attack and also overlap, because if you don't use overlap, it can also be inverted or overlap, so sometimes they can make a run on the inside, and you don't really want that. You want the Bellingham, Saka, and Mbappe to have that kind of trio and play through each other, trying to find combinations, but most importantly, Bellingham going around Mbappe, so you create a 2v1 on the wing. For the center backs, he was just using step back while attacking, stick to position, and normal interceptions. At the start of the game, I actually used step up, but it didn't really reward me as much, so stick to position is better. Left back, pretty basic there as well. He was using stay back while attacking and overlap as well, because obviously if Stones is making a run, you want him to overlap, but you need to send him manually and then by pressing L1 on your controller towards him. For the two midfielders then, he was actually using the right center midfielder as the attacking one, so for the two other center midfielders, he was using stay back while attacking and cover center for both of them, because we don't really want them to interfere with the attack. We just want them to be there, especially having De Bruyne in the middle who has a long ball plus playstyle, and I'm always talking about this. You need a player in the middle that has the long ball plus playstyle. Alfonso in this case, he was using Vitinha, who also has that playstyle, so that was basically why I think a lot of people chose or decided to go between De Bruyne and Vitinha, and in Alfonso's case, it was Vitinha, because maybe he's Portuguese, and if you didn't know, Alfonso is also Portuguese. The offensive midfielder then is going to be on balanced attack and cover wing. You don't touch him. He should just be on default. You shouldn't touch anything in terms of instructions here. Just let him be. Don't touch anything. Then for Erling Braut Haaland, the thing he used was just come back on defense. And why, you may ask? Because he wants to defend in a 4-4-2. And if you decide for yourself to go come back on defense for the left forward, and you have the right CM as cover wing as well, it will defend in a 4-4-2. So Haaland will defend as a left midfielder in game, and Saka will defend as a right midfielder in game. And then we have Kylian Mbappe and Eto'o, who will, of course, defend as two strikers in game. But Kylian Mbappe had getting behind. I think he was using this mainly because he wanted Mbappe, who is the quickest out of the trio up top, to make these runs in behind and try to cause some havoc inside his opponent's box. So that was basically why he was using get in behind. And then for Samuel Eto'o, he was using none other than stay central. I think that makes sense, to be honest. You mostly want your striker to be in these kind of spaces, especially when a player like R9, who Alfonso was using, has the finesse shot plus playstyle, who can finish a lot of chances in general and try to score a lot of goals for you. So this was Alfonso's tactics, a 4-3-2-1 formation in this year's game. So yes, you can basically say that these tactics are the best in the game at the moment, especially when Alfonso is now a world champion. He was crowned in Saudi Arabia, and yeah, amazing event. Shout out to all your Saudi Arabian fans that came out and said hello. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment something nice down below. It's pretty hard for me to find something in terms of content now to do before the new game, but I think for the upcoming weeks we will try to do a bit of leaks, trying to find what ratings some of the new players are. So let me know what kind of teams, and do you want me to rate the, you know, the top 50 players down to top 1? Let me know down in the comments what you guys want to see. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for the support recently. You guys are the greatest. As always, stay safe, stay humble, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye. Okay, we're here, going to the airport. We're going to fly to Saudi today. I'm tired, 8 o'clock in the morning, and yeah, follow me along the journey. We're going to Saudi today, excited. They're competing for the last chance